I'm Damon Bruce, and this is the NBA on 2K Sports. Friday Hoops Fest coming up next. It's going to be the New York Knicks up against the Portland Trail Blazers. And now we send you out to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K crew. I'll see you at the half.
It's NBA basketball on 2K Sports. Alongside Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg, I'm Kevin Harlan, bringing you what promises to be a very exciting Friday night matchup. And now we take a brief check at the matchups. Our starting five for both teams. First for the Knicks, Felton is out there with Iman Shumpert. And in the middle, the 2012 Defensive Player of the Year, 7'1" rebounder, shot blocker, and leader Tyson Chandler. Then it's Anthony, and it's Bargnani in at the 4. And for Portland, Lillard and Matthews pair up in the backcourt. And playing at the center position, one of the Lopez twins out of Stanford, 7-foot banger, Robin Lopez. Then there's Batum, and it's Aldridge in at the 4 slot.
You know, after losing Jeremy Lin going into last season, guys, I think some fans were concerned that the team might slip back to isolation basketball and their offense would stagnate, but instead they flourished as a three-point shooting team.
And back to the Knicks personnel moves, you got to give them a lot of credit going out and finding shooters and defenders and Steve playmakers to surround their star players with.
Yeah, they ended up with Bargnani, putting him at the kind of the shooting 4 spot, adding another three-point threat. The Knicks are always going to be aggressive personnel-wise. This was already a good team, second best record in the East, but you know they're looking to get better.
Now here is Bargnani. Shot clock at 5. Felton goes in, 11 feet away. Here's Chandler, shoots over Lillard, and no good, trying to use the glass.
Terrific defense at the rim. They got right in his path.
You know, that's part of what great defenders do. They get not only in your path, but in your head a little bit, too.
Well, he's so good at recognizing where the openings are and getting the ball to the rim.
Wes Matthews was undrafted out of Marquette back in 2009. But he ended up not only making the team in Utah, but starting as a rookie for the Jazz. He solidified himself as a quality wing in this league, and he's a tough defender who can make the outside shot, and you always know what you're going to get from him at both ends of the floor.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Well, guys, the head coach for the Portland Trail Blazers gave me just a couple of minutes. I talked to him about plans he had coming into this game, and the one thing he told me was that he wanted to make sure it didn't come down to a wire, saying with guys like Melo and Amari, I don't want the ball in their hands with a chance to win it at the end. We need to get out ahead early and never let them back in it. We'll see if they're able to avoid a close finish, guys.
Thank you, Doris. And Clark, you talked about the toughness for Wes Matthews until last season. You know, Steve, he had never missed a game.
250 straight games to start his career. He's battled through pain to always try to get the job done for his teammates. One of my favorite players in the league. Just a tough, physical player who can knock down threes. Like somebody you want on your squad.
His dad played in the NBA for a while.
That's right. Well, a lot of basketball pundits, so to speak, would like to eliminate lottery pick protection outside the top 3 from trades. They feel it gives teams too strong an incentive to tank. You look at the Blazers last season, they owed their pick to the Bobcats if it was 13th or lower, and they finished the season 8-26 after going 500 at that point. So maybe a little suspicious.
Was there any doubt what he was going to do with that putback? Flush it down.
Oh, that's some energy we just witnessed right there.
That's the kind of energy you need on the offensive glass. That's the only way to get it done.
Here's Lopez up and in with the jumper near the hoop. Clark, going back to the Blazers, they finished the season among the worst defensive teams in the entire league.
And that's where they've got to improve, Kevin. They did a decent job denying looks on the perimeter, but they didn't get blocks or steals, so not a real force defensively. And among the worst in fast break points and points in the paint as well, so they clearly have some areas they can shore up.
Here is Felton after the made shot from Lopez. And stolen by Lillard. And now here's Batum, the fast break opportunity. So he gets the whistle, contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Seems like he's got more floor burns than just about any player in the league because He will dive head first after any loose ball, no regard for personal safety.
And you know what, Steve? His teammates love playing with him because he gets them so many assists thanks to his catch and shoot ability. A lot of his buckets come right off the pass.
Free throw, good. Matthews.
Well, for the Portland Trailblazers, a new training staff hired over from Oklahoma City. They let go of their previous trainer who'd been with the team for 19 seasons. You know, fair or not, I think the seat got hot after all the injuries that were really devastating this team.
That one falls, so he hits both of them. And for the Blazers, statistically the most injured team in the NBA, Clark, from 2009 through 2012.
And the new training staff is advanced in not just injury treatment, but injury prevention. And that's key, using strength bands, recording baseline measurements for muscle strength and flexibility, even using Eastern medicine. So they're not leaving any stone unturned.
Now here's Anthony. Leads him in there. That's good from Chandler on the assist by Anthony.
A good job of spotting his teammate near the basket and zipping the pass right in there.
Portland leading. Wesley Matthews on the wing. It's stolen by Iman Shumpert. For the finish. Dashes it down to finish the break.
Straight to the bucket with a nice head of steam.
Well, no reason to slow it down when there's nothing in the way.
Felton against Lillard. He feeds it to Matthews. Dishes it to Lopez. Lopez right side. Back to Matthews. 6 to shoot. The Trailblazers need to get off a shot. Chandler with the steal. And a fast break now for New York. Anthony leading the charge. And finished off by Shumpert.
Guys, that's simply superb. Ball pressure, a run out, and then a dunk in transition.
Exactly, Clark, what they wanted. The aggressive defense to lead to.
Yeah, points in transition.
Yeah, that's why you want to make the other team feel uncomfortable handling the ball, because you can get easy points out of it at the other end.
So New York going with almost an entire new group here. Amari Stoudemire is checked in for Chandler. World Peace comes in for Bargnani. J.R. Smith's checked in for Shumpert. And it's Udrich in for Raymond Felton. Here's Udrich. 1:29 left here in the first quarter.
Well, Damian Lillard played in a small school. Came out of Weber State. But the Blazers liked what they saw, and anybody who watched Damian Lillard liked what they saw. I mean, he was the most effective pick-and-roll player in the college game at Weber State. They knew with the prominence of that play in the NBA that he had a skill that would translate well to the pros. And boy, did it ever.
Here's Udrich. The dive for the ball. Out of bounds, Portland takes possession. Trailblazers have gotten their first 3 shots to go in for him to start off this game. And for Lillard, running that pick and roll, he grasps the nuances, doesn't he? Looking off the weak side defender, all the little things, the mind games even, to make that play work so well.
Well, it was on-the-job training for him last year, Kevin, in his rookie season, because all of a sudden he was seeing defenses he hadn't seen before. Blitzes and blues and people going under or over, and you have to navigate your way through those things as a point guard. But he did an awfully good job of it.
Well, you were telling me a great story that his college coach kept showing him all kinds of pick and rolls with Steve Nash and all kinds of NBA players, the way those point guards would navigate, and he picked it up, and by the time he was a senior in college, he had it down. Here's Udrich. Myers Leonard picking up that last basket. Smith for 3. It's rebounded by Leonard. Right with it. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. And here's Matthews from the yard. Oh, he just knocked down the buzzer beater.
Oh, what a 3 at the horn. They end the quarter on a high note. What a big shot.
I'll say that'll put a little bounce in their step coming back out of this break.
And that does it for the first quarter. Trailblazers out in front. They lead by 5. From the Rose Garden in Portland, Oregon, we're back in a moment. And now the the second quarter, just getting set to start.
You know, for a long time, the Knicks were viewed as a young team on the rise, but when they added Rasheed Wallace last year, the average age went to 32, which was the oldest team in the league last season. And you saw it in their play. They were a group of veterans out there.
Portland with the ball. 5-point lead, the biggest of the game. Outside Williams. Here's Leonard. Shot is off. Great tee that time from World Peace. Here's Udrich. Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Well, guys, Andrea Bargnani, the #1 overall pick back in 2006, but he hasn't been a star caliber player in the NBA. Injuries have played a role, certainly, but his defense and rebounding have been the biggest problems. A former coach of his with the Raptors said it just didn't seem like he had enough passion for the game, that it wasn't important enough to him. Some pretty harsh words, but guys, sometimes for 7-footers, the game finds them. And defense and rebounding, certainly not the glamorous parts of this game. Kevin, will see if he ever realizes his potential.
And hope for the best. Thanks, Doris. And for the Knicks, the veteran leadership helped them at times as they had to go through some very tough stretches, Steve, due to injury.
Yeah, they did go through some stretches, but they really did well to secure the division title and get that high seed going into the playoffs. They had a pretty decent run all in all, but this is a team that has higher aspirations than just getting to the conference semis.
The free throw drops for Smith.
You know, for now, the Trailblazers are still the basketball team in the Pacific Northwest. You know, Seattle made a strong push to acquire the Kings, made a record bid, but the owners decided that Sacramento had done its part to keep the Kings, and so Seattle has to wait.
The Trailblazers making a switch here. Aldridge is checked in. Smith hits them both. And Clark, going back, you know, the Blazers, one of 3 teams in the Pacific Northwest. You also had the Sonics in Seattle and, Steve, you know, the Vancouver Grizzlies.
And I think those 2 cities, particularly Seattle, Kevin, are strong contenders for a new NBA franchise. Of course, Seattle almost ended up with the Sacramento Kings, but when Sacramento was awarded the franchise, a lot of people felt like it was only a matter of time before Seattle would be granted an expansion team.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Trailblazers.
And right from the start, guys, it's apparent they're determined to establish a presence in the paint.
They've been distributing the ball really well tonight, too. I mean, a decent number of assists so far for them.
The free throw drops for Aldridge.
Guys, it was no secret that last season the Knicks were really a perimeter-oriented team. They had some solid inside players, but basically those inside guys were there to set screens and defend and rebound. It was up to Melo and the other perimeter guys to carry the offense.
Now here is Aldridge. Bryce Stoudemire missing his last shot. Now Udrich. There's the pass to Smith. And the call will be against LaMarcus Aldridge. That is his first foul of the game. Well, Clark, back to what you said last year about the Knicks. Last in points in the paint, only about a third of their points inside. Very little around the basket, Steve. It became an issue at times.
Well, it was an interesting group, Kevin. So many shooters. Carmelo really represented their only low post threat. Even Tyson Chandler, his baskets were mostly offensive putbacks. So it was almost small ball all season long, but it was very interesting to watch.
New York calls timeout. And as with any timeout at this point of the game, important to go over the strategies that are working and those that are needed in terms of adjustments. And, of course, the opportunity, guys, to get hydrated with Gatorade before coming back out of the floor. We've seen some good action so far, and there's more of it to come.
Yeah, this game has been physical, it's been fast, it's been high-paced. So anytime you're in a situation like this where it's really a hard-fought game, critical to keep yourself hydrated throughout.
And here in the second with about a minute and a half gone by. Stoudemire dishes to Carmelo. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Trailblazers will take it.
And in the 2011-2012 season, Melo had a down year from behind the arc. Shot a career low, but he bounced back last year, guys. Definitely made him a more dynamic offensive threat, knocking down threes at a much better clip.
Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, gentlemen, you recall around draft night, there were rumors that the Cavaliers were willing to trade both the number 1 and number 19 picks for LaMarcus Aldridge, but they were rebuffed by Portland. And it's easy to see why the Blazers would be reluctant to part with their franchise big man. But with Aldridge expressing unhappiness in Portland over the summer, you wonder if that's a decision they'll live to regret. Kevin?
No question, Doris. Everyone's got to be invested and on board, or it just doesn't work. Leonard, the pass to Aldridge. And it's out of bounds to Portland. They'll retain possession.
Maybe a low percentage pass, but it still nearly got through.
I like it, though. I mean, it's an aggressive play. Heads up defending to deflect it away.
Jarrell Wright's checked in for Wesley Matthews. Hangs in the air. Here's Aldridge. The stupendous finish in traffic. Aldridge has got 5 now. And for Carmelo Anthony last season, by far a career high in three-pointers attempted.
Well, he's capable of making shots from out there for sure. This was really a big part of the strategy for the Knicks offense. They wanted to spread the floor with him at that power forward spot. And if he had a bigger player guarding him, he could either take him outside for those threes or use his quickness to go right around him. Yeah, and he's one player who doesn't need a lot of space to get to the basket. He's really crafty, the way he can blast his way straight through traffic. He's really strong.
And I'll tell you one more thing about him, Steve. He sets a screen maybe better than anybody. And if he rolls off of it, he gets the ball and gets a clean look. It's automatic.
And stolen by Williams. And it's the Trailblazers on the break. And you know that's going to be goaltending, guys. So that's a free basket right there.
He thought he had that one clean, but the ref saw it differently. They'll count the basket.
Tyson Chandler, he's checked in for Meta World Peace. Knicks trailed by 5.
You know, even though it was a down year for the Blazers in terms of their overall record last year, they still enjoyed quite a bit of success at home. It's one of the better home court advantages in the league.
Anthony drives in. Out to Smith. Three-pointer. Shot no good. And the Trailblazers going the other way. Williams dishes to Wright. Tyson Chandler pulls it in. Chandler's got his 3rd rebound tonight. And for the Blazers, as you said, not the year they wanted. But, Steve, they still managed to finish 22-19 here in Portland.
Well, it's a young team, very talented starting 5, but very little depth. And I think over the course of an 82-game season, the lack of bench help really cost Portland. But a lot to be excited about, some good young talent, and a home court that traditionally has been very positive for this team.
For the Knicks, Bargnani is checked in for Stoudemire. Iman Shumpert has come in for Carmelo Anthony. And it's Felton in for Udrih. We've got 1:08 left to play here in the second quarter. And Shumpert kicks to Smith. Outside, Felton. He dishes it to Bargnani. New York, no good that time either. Chandler, the pass to Felton. Felton off the pick from Chandler. Felton goes in. Second chance shot. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
In his return to New York, I tell you, Raymond Felton looked to have his best season yet as a pro. He came in and made plays and filled the void left at the point guard spot for the Knicks.
And for Felton, I guess, just something in the water in New York, huh, Stevie? He's played his best basketball in the big city.
Yeah, he had a good run there several years back before he was traded to Denver as part of that Carmelo Anthony trade. And now that he's back in New York, Felton, once again, having a terrific impact on that team.
LaMarcus Aldridge is checked in for Portland. And the second free throw, good.
A lot of high hopes for the Knicks in last year's playoffs. They started off so hot, but then let the series against Boston drag on, and eventually went to 7 games, and they fell to the Pacers in the second round after that.
Lopez lays it up and in on the nice reverse. And the Trailblazers lead by 6.
Now there's something for the top 10 highlight reel right there. A layup can be just as sweet and as pretty as a dunk sometimes.
Now here is Smith. 7 points in the game. 4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And that comes off the assist by Raymond Felton. 10 points for J.R. Smith.
You know, his ability is matched only by his energy, guys. I mean, he's usually in the middle of everything for his team.
Here's Lillard. Batum with the 3. And it's in. Oh, wow, he nails the buzzer beater.
How about that one? A perfect finish to the half for them to tack another 3 points onto their lead.
And so that's the end of the first half. Trailblazers lead by 6. We've got more in store for you right after this.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Welcome. I'm Damon Bruce. A great game going on out at the Rose Garden. At the midway point, the Trailblazers are playing well. Offensively, they're making it look ridiculously easy. Everything's falling. On the Knicks side of things, they're managing to hang around. Defensively, very disruptive. They've been effective forcing turnovers. Nice steal so far. J.R. Smith is having a huge impact. We've come to expect performances like this one from him. That will be all for us. Thanks for stopping in. We'll see you next time.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.